Hello, my name is Jimmy and I take the NC Media course at Forth Valley College. I'm here today to talk about job roles within the media industry. I've decided to pick 3, but there's many more jobs that you can choose from. But the 3 I'm going to be talking about is the most important, a camera operator. Second, I will talk about an art director. And the last one I will talk about is a sound recordist. The camera operator is the most important person within a camera crew. The camera operator operates the camera equipment both in studio and on location. The camera operator is responsible for operating a variety of technical equipment, which can include single and multiple portable cameras, a remote control, electronic cameras, cranes, and even the video tripod they mount the camera onto. But they also have other responsibilities that they need to follow, which is assembling and setting up the equipment I talked about, planning, preparing and rehearsing scenes, following camera scripts, creatively framing and capturing the action, responding quickly to directions, and working cooperatively with lighting and technical staff. So the job can be tiring and even demanding at sometimes. But the job also often requires travel between locations, and you have very long, irregular working hours. They also need to have practical skills, enthusiasm, and relevant experience, which is highly valued more than the academic qualifications that they have. Although having a television, film, photography, media studies, or even an arts degree can be very helpful. But it's also very important to demonstrate a genuine interest in the work. But this should all be backed up with evidence of theoretical knowledge and good technical abilities. So thinking, how do I get the experience of being able to become a camera operator? Well, the experience can be gained from amateur photography, film, or video work, or even relevant hobbies that you have. So how do most camera operators become camera operators? Well, they start off either entering as trainees, assistant camera operator, or even runners. So what other key skills do they need? Well, they also need to have plenty of stamina, being able to concentrate for long periods of time, good hearing, and even good colour vision. So an average wage in the UK for a camera operator is £26,267 per year, or that can be £13.47 per hour. Thinking on an entry level to become a camera operator, that can start at £23,225 per year. But for more experienced workers, they can make up to £32,130 per year. So next, there will be a video of me showing you how a camera operator sets up equipment. So here is the video of setting up the tripod. So in the back, we have the tripod itself. And you also want to make sure that in the bag, we have the fan arm and the base plate for the camera. So when you're setting it up, you want to make sure that it's flat and the red bit in the middle is fully down, so then it's secure. And to adjust it, we have these little clips at the side. You just take them out and pull the legs out. And then you clip them back in, so then the tripod is secure. So that's how to set it up. So now, to put the camera on, we have this base plate, camera. There's a little bit on the bottom that says lens, so that goes towards the camera's lens. So you just pop it on, and you might need like a coin or a little screwdriver to put it in and turn it, but you don't want to turn it too tight or that can cause damage to the camera. And to put it on here, you want to unwind this little key at the side and make sure that you can push that down. And to put it on, you want to put it on at an angle and then clip it in, then twist the little key to make sure it's fully secure. So that's the camera in now. So now we have the pan arm. So it also depends what hand you use the most. So if you're left-handed, you put it on the left side, but I'm right-handed, so I'm going to put it on the right side. And then you just twist it in and make sure it's all the way round and it's secure, and that's it in. So now what we want to do is make sure that before we film that the camera is actually level. So we have a little bubble bit here, and we want to make sure that the little bubble is in the middle. So to do that, we have this little key thing at the bottom. We just untwist that and move it a bit until it's in the middle, and then we push it back so it's tight. So that's it level now. And to do the panning, to turn the camera, you have this little bit here. You just unwind that. Now that that is unwind, you can now move the camera left to right. But there's also this little lock bit here, so if you unlock that, you can also tilt the camera back and forth. Now that the camera and the tripod are all set up, we're going to turn it on. So over here, there's an off, on, and a little video camera. We're going to push the thing all the way to the video camera to turn it on. Now I will talk about the aperture. So that's this little one here that has the F in front of it. So basically it has different numbers. So if you go higher up in the scale, it's going to be darker, and the lower you go, it'll be brighter. I'll turn the light on to show you. Now that the light's on, I might be able to show it better. So it's on for the now, so it's really bright. But the more I go higher up in the scale, it gets darker, as you can see. So basically, it kind of just depends on how you want your scene to look, on what you'll have your aperture at. Now I will talk about the ISO. So to do that, you just click a little bit at the bottom, it says ISO, and there's different numbers on the scale as well. So obviously the higher you go, the brighter it gets as well, but it also adds grain to your image. And the lower you go, the darker it goes. But for a normal video, we'd probably shoot between 200 and 1600. Now I will talk about white balance. So to do that, you just go in the menu again, and you go to the little camera button, and you just scroll along to get to white balance. You have that, and you have different ones as well. You have daylight, shade, cloudy, whatever that one is, that one. You have flash as well, but you can also, if you go back, and go to custom white balance, so there's no image. So what to do is you basically have to take a picture of the white bit of paper. So just me take a picture of the white bit of paper, and then you go to the menu again, and you go to white balance, then go to custom white balance, that picture there, and you set it, and then that'll be your custom white balance done. Now I will talk about focus. So you can go to the menu, and there's a focus peaking setting. So it's off the now, so if you turn it on, it's good to keep it high, and then you can pick the colour between red, yellow or blue. We'll keep it red. We press the shutter button again and go back to the main bit. So basically, if there's a few ways to do it. So it'll basically tell you when you have something in focus, it will glow a kind of red colour around it.
Art director. So what is an art director? Well, an art director is someone who creates and manages the overall design and visual style. The role of an art director is a creative position. They handle the logistical execution of their work. So what do they need to be good at? Well, creativity is one of them, so being able to visualise the image they want. Art, so being able to draw, build props and small sets, and even have a knowledge of art history. Knowledge of construction, so source appropriate materials and props. Knowledge of production, so being able to understand the production techniques. Leadership, so them being able to share their vision with a number of different people. The art director job is very responsible. So what they're responsible for is the way the set is dressed and the inclusion of any props. They remain on set throughout the production to make sure everything in the set remains the way it's meant to be. Where there isn't a set needed for filming and the content is filmed at various locations, they work with the producer and director. They will create many sets and they manage the area, which can be indoors or outdoors, in which it's getting filmed. The props that they use, they design them themselves and oversee their build. Just in general, they will work with production designers on studio filming and on location filming. They work with the producer directors and their teams of assistant producers and researchers and even runners. So you can start at an entry level as an art department runner. If you want to go to university, A-levels or higher in art, architecture, photography, graphic design, or even graphic communications is very useful. So with all that, with what an art director does, what they need to be good at, knowledge, responsibility, and who they work with, let's look into how much do art directors make. So at an entry level, with less than 1 year experience, you can earn an average of £25,000 per year. With 1 to 4 years experience, you can earn an average of £30,067 per year. With 5 to 9 years experience, you can earn an average of £36,750 per year. With 10 to 19 years experience, you can earn an average of £46,471 per year. And with 20 plus years experience, you can earn an average of £47,349 per year. Sound recordist. So what do they do? Well, a sound recordist captures all the sound needed for the shoot. But when doing this, they also need to be aware of all the background noise. But what else do they do? Well, they set up the microphones and they deal with any issues that occur when using them. They use a variety of microphones, which include boom microphones that can be hidden personally, or even radio microphones. A sound recordist communicates with all production and crew members. So, what are the responsibilities of a sound recordist? Well, they need to be able to monitor audio signals to detect the sound quality, correcting any problems that may occur during the recording, maintaining and repairing the sound equipment, applying technical knowledge of sound recording equipment, and also need to make sure the audio syncs up accurately with the visuals on screen. So with the responsibilities that they have, what do they need to be good at? Well, they need to have a creative mind and a good ear. They need to have good communication skills,
So that, for instance, could be when fitting people's mics, so good talking to them, building a relationship, but also communicating with other team members to make sure the sound fits with the visuals. They need to have problem solving skills so that if anything occurs, they need to find an effective way to deal with the problems with recording. They need to have technical knowledge, so being able to operate, maintain and repair the sound equipment. Scientific knowledge they need to have, so being very well versed with the physics of sound, with what it possesses and how it can be manipulated. How do you get the experience? Well, a sound recordist is a senior role within the media industry. So you can get the experience from being a sound assistant, being a studio runner, or even being a sound trainee. But if you want to go to university, you can take A-levels or higher in maths, physics and music. How much money do sound recordists make? Well, the highest salary for a sound recordist in the UK, they can make around £45,250 a year. And the lowest salary that a UK sound recordist can make is about £17,330 a year.
So how do all these roles work together? Well, the relationship between camera operators and sound recordists is that they will communicate with each other with the placement of mics to make sure it's not in the shot. The link between camera operators and art directors is that they will communicate with each other to make sure any props that are getting used are in the frame of the camera in case the camera operator can't see if it's in or not. And the relationship between art directors and sound recorder is that they will work together by coordinating the inconspicuous placement of recording equipment within the props.